So I was so excited to be commissioned to do this play for the 19th Amendment Project, particularly because ever since I was a child, I had been obsessed with women's right to vote, and it's something that I'd always thought of. And the first thing I ever published as a young girl was a poem about Susan B. Anthony. So I kind of love the poetry of now as a grown-up playwright attacking, these issues from a more complex location in my mind and in my life. So that was very attractive to me. So I was just thrilled from the beginning to be included and to be invited to participate. What I did is we were provided with some really great research, which of course I read, and then I augmented that with some of my own research. But the crazy thing is one morning I just woke up in the wee hours and Lucretia Mott's name was just in my brain. And I had no idea why. I had heard of her as a child when I had first studied the suffragettes, but I didn't really know who she was. And so the second I got out of bed, I ran to my computer to look her up because it just felt like, oh, this must be meant to be, because her name is just coming to me out of nowhere. And sure enough, Lucretia Mott was also an abolitionist. And I just love the fact that her story brings together the abolitionists and the first wave feminists. And as you may know, because Black men received the right to vote prior to women, there has historically been some kind of tension between the idea of first wave feminism and the rights of freed slaves, and Black men. And so that was something I really wanted to respond to in the play. And I really found that Lucretia Mott provided me that person. So that was exciting for me. And then also in studying the Declaration of Sentiments, which is based on the Declaration of Independence, I noticed that her husband had signed it. And so as a playwright, I always ask myself, well, what are the what if questions? And so I started to scroll back and say, well, what are the what if questions around him signing it? What if he didn't really know what she was working on? What if he didn't want to sign it initially? And what would that process be for him to ultimately decide to sign it? So that was how I found the play. It was really just looking at that document and studying it online and thinking, oh, Lucretia Mott's husband, Paul, signed this. I wonder how that happened. So that's really how you find a play. You walk your way back from something like a detail like that, and you start to ask yourself, well, what if this, what if that? And all of a sudden you have a story happening. And that's how I found the play.